Okay, and another homework problem. Tangent x over 2 minus sine of x equals 0. Half angles formulas are a little bit tricky. So one thing we can do is to replace these and turn it into a double angle problem. So I'm going to change x over 2 to theta. So that's going to become a theta. Now, if I move the 2 over here, there'd be 2 theta equals x. So wherever there's an x, I'm going to put 2 theta. So now I have a double angle instead of a half angle. So I'm going to change tangent to sine over cosine, bring that sine 2 theta down, and at the end of the problem, we'll have to change back to x again. Right now we're using all thetas. Down here at the bottom, I'll change back. So sine over cosine, bring this down. Got a common denominator, so this is already over cosine, so leave the sine. This doesn't have cosine, so we have to multiply that by cosine. Now, when you have a fraction equal 0, only the top has to equal 0, so you could ignore the bottom. The bottom cannot be 0 because you can't divide by 0. So don't try to solve the bottom, only solve the top. So let's take the top, and I wrote it down. And then I did something. Let's see if I remember. Sine of 2 theta. Sine of 2 theta is equal to 2 sine cosine. So I took out sine 2 theta and put 2 sine cosine. Brought this cosine down, brought this sine down. So we have 2 cosines together makes cosine squared. And then they both have a sine, so I factored out the sine. So take the sine out, that leaves a 1. And that one of those cosines, that sine's gone, leaves cosine squared, and this should look familiar. 1 minus 2 sine cosine squared. Doesn't get you anywhere right now, but I've got 2 things multiplied to get 0. Forgot to write the equals 0. So either sine theta equals 0 or this equals 0. So just, I need to move it a little bit. This way. So remember, when we get our answer of theta, we'll have to cut it in half. All right, so move the one over here and then divide by 2. When you move the 1, it'll be a negative 1, divide by negative 2 makes it a positive 1/2. And then square root this, square root that. You're going to have to work it twice. Shift cosine of 1 over root 2, and then do it again with a negative. And I ended up 1/4 pi and 3/4 pi, but that's for theta. I'm going to go back to the top. To change theta back to x, we have to double the theta. So double the 1/4 gives us a half, double the 3/4 gives us 3/2 pi. Those are our answers. All right. I can't remember if I did the sine one or not, but I think that's pi over 2 also. And that's it for today.